Hello, I'm Kimberly, and this is Good Heart Life. Thanks for joining me. Good Heart Life is a personal quest of mine to rebuild my life after a decade of caregiving for both my mom and my grandmother. A decade of caregiving and the ultimate loss of the two of the most important women in my life. So I'm just here to share some of that. So I've decided with the first series that I would like to focus on the 10 things I wish I had known prior to caregiving, and the first of which being that I could do it, that I had what it takes within me to do what I needed to do. And I did it. I just didn't have that belief in myself early on, especially when we saw that this was going to be a progressive thing. It wasn't going to change for quite some time. People started to tell me that, you can't do this, it's too much for you, and how it might affect you and your husband, and all these different things. But I had my heart into, I had to do what I needed to do for my grandmother. And that's basically the majority of my journey was spent taking care of my grandmother with Alzheimer's. And, a decade is a long time, and I have learned many lessons, and, not that I'm an authority by any means, but there are just some interesting things that have happened that, may be helpful to someone else along the way. So, like I said, that's what I'm here for. And, early on, I see now that early on in my life, I was being prepped to be a caregiver for them, and in a sense, because my mom had lots of issues and problems when I was a child, and my grandparents became my refuge. They took me in. I lived with them from the time I was 3 till I was a teenager, and I would visit my mom on the weekends and different things, but our relationship was different, mine and my mom's. It was kind of reversed, and I grew up very fast, being the only child. I learned to take care of her early on because of the issues that she had, and I might go into detail about that later, but that's a lot. It's a long story. But with my grandmother, there was no doubt in my mind that when the time came and she needed me, that she was coming to live with us, with my husband and myself. Things happened quickly. Just to make a long story short, my mom and my grandmother lived together, and my mom had a particular issue that escalated, and then it became a drawn-out 2-year experience. And during that time, we moved my grandmother in with us because my mom was in and out of facilities, and it was just too crazy to keep moving her back and forth. And meanwhile, I'm running my business, I'm pursuing another business venture, and it was just a lot. And I think I doubted myself, but I didn't let anyone else know that. So even though to the outside looking in, I looked like I was doing it, I just didn't know how long and, if I could really handle it. Well, at least I know now, a decade later, that I was capable of a lot more than I thought I was. And my life completely changed. My business life, all of the different things have changed, and that is what this concept is rebuilding, restructuring, and how to move forward in a new way without caregiving, because I had transferred all of my efforts that I was giving to business and ambitions and all those things to caregiving. And, you know, by the end of the decade, we had to make some really serious choices, and I will talk about those later. But we're on step one today, and I think I would just like to share and convey to you, if you are caregiving right now, just know that you can do whatever you want to do or need to do for yourself and your family member, and just to have faith and trust in that. And I mean, I'm not an authority by any means. I just know that had I listened to a lot of people along the way, I would have stopped my journey short and would have not have had some of the miraculous experiences that I had with my grandmother. And because of her Alzheimer's dementia, I was told lots of different things, but we were having a totally different experience, So anyway, that's to come. That's more of the story. But anyway, just a short little clip today. And, I hope to be a light on someone's dark path. If there's anything that I can say that can be helpful, then, all that we've gone through and my life completely changing, and, will make more sense to me, because everything that I did for them, I would do it again. I would just be a lot more maybe centered and confident in my abilities. So that's just my 2 cents worth for today. And I do have a motto, though, that is driving my life now, and that is to lift a life. Especially now more than ever. If you find that you have overflow, because sometimes lifting a life can just be your own, but if you find you have overflow, I find going out and sharing it and helping and making someone else's day brighter, it's a healing balm. So, for what it's worth. So anyway, I hope you'll join me again as I continue on, making and finding my way, and just doing what I can. Thank you. I hope to see you soon.